Hello. Let's see. Are we? Yeah, everything seems to be working now. So update on the last video, which was really not a great time because we had a bug where we we ended up um, we ended up in a situation where I was trying to fix a certain bug, which really didn't make sense to me. I tried to do a lot of different hoop jumping to yeah, the edge cases are not working, but I ended up doing a lot of different stuff trying to make this collision resolver actually work. The problem was that the figure here extended through the wall, um, and the repositioning didn't work properly. So yeah, I spent a lot of time digging into whether the penetration depth did not get calculated correctly, um, and so forth. As you can see now, everything works. The problem was the way I realized when I saw the character sticking through only these walls and not these walls all the way through to the other side. I realized that the minimum and maximum points somehow got calculated wrong. This resulted in me simply ending up, rather ended up redoing parts of the object transform system, and then I realized uh, that whenever I rotate the objects, it might look fine visually, but the half widths of the bounding volume would end up with some wrong signs in terms of whether they were positive and negative. So yeah, I added a check right now. I also rewrote the code that calculates the matrix from these data points here, since I realized that I was applying rotation on the y-axis, but I specified it as rotation on the z and x-axis, which was wrong. Therefore, I streamlined the whole thing, and then I simply do a check if the object is rotated 90 degrees around the y-axis, the x and z axis of the half widths get flipped. So yeah, that's just it. We actually do not need that anymore. We can do the same thing here. Simply remove this code. There we go. And we do this instead. Uh, uh, there we go. So we change this. And change this. And then finally, if the, there we go. Let's see, so we do still have some errors here. Uh, oh well, whoops. I of course need to add the transform here. Or rather, not here, transform. And the transform here. Same goes for this transform. And let's see, we do have some other errors. Matrix here. No more errors here. And we have the matrix here. And still we need to change this. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Close that one up. So yeah, now the transform actually holds both transform data and a matrix. I'm not sure whether it's more clean, but we do start to get some separation of what is needed for the renderer and what object information we actually want. Let's see. So whenever we create the character here, the position is supposed to be, yeah, let's do some renaming here as well, because I think some of these namings are misleading. Let's try to disable that for now. Instead of characters, and this, let's do physics data. OBJ data. And we actually do call this a character. Well, I guess we have to accept that. Uh, There we go, and we remove that. There we go. That is less confusing, I think. Let's clean up some of this. Yeah, we could definitely rearrange some of this. Yeah. Everything compiles. Everything is great. So now we have to decide on what to do next. I was thinking something like we could do something that revolves around dynamic collisions. Yeah. I mean, our plan is to get to a point where we can maybe do something with our environment. I mean, yeah. Would we like to be able to create our character now? Is that more important than other aspects of the game? I mean, yeah. Yeah, maybe on YouTube here, I'm gonna end this part of the video since I'm gonna decide on what to do next. And this was merely sort of a follow-up to the last video. The penetration depth here is really calculated by subtracting the distance from the nearest point on the collider. We could redo without the contact normal. We might do another collision system eventually, maybe something like separating axis based stuff. For now this will do, but yeah, and we simply got the penetration depth depending on the contact normal, and then adjusted the position after we adjusted the velocities. Yeah, so when we get the contact normal, we know which axis is not zero, and therefore we know which way the penetration needs to be resolved. The distance is not aligned on any axis, so it's the distance between the object that is colliding with the collider. So for instance, the center of the character model and whatever closest point there is on this bounding volume. And as you can see, the hand doesn't get stuck in the wall. Yeah, so it was merely a bug in terms of defining the bounding volumes. And I spent all day ruminating over how to solve it, and then it got solved pretty quickly when I actually got into stuff today. Yeah, but I've been messing around with different collision stuff, so we could do more of that in a future video. Right now, I'm gonna prioritize what we need to do to be able to create a sort of yeah, character controller or of sorts. Yeah, so hopefully you like this update and found some of it helpful. Yeah, I'll be back in the next video with something more to do on the project. Yeah, and sorry that you perhaps had to skip through a lot of the old video, or rather previous episode. Yeah, it's just the way it is when we're trying to do stuff like this totally live and unedited. Yeah, hopefully that is reassuring to someone else who's struggling. All right, I'll be